the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Ed's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Good evening, everyone. Well, of course, the biggest headline is the fact that it's pretty windy in some areas here that we've seen throughout the afternoon. That's going to elevate the fire weather risk. So let's start off with, when we take a look at Kruger's cast, we're going to talk about the winds. Now, first of all, there's a wind advisory for the areas in blue here. Now, even though places like Reading, Red Bluff, and Corning are outside of this wind advisory, that doesn't mean it won't be windy there. The winds are expected to be strongest in these areas. And that's going to be through tomorrow, for tonight through tomorrow. There's also a red flag warning for the areas in red here until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Now again, keep in mind, because the winds are expected to be strongest to the south, I still expect to see stronger winds here and elevated fire risk even to the north into the Reading area. But bottom line, gusty winds and low humidity leading to that high fire danger really for tonight and through tomorrow. So there you can see the winds for tomorrow morning. I mean, we're talking about winds in excess of 20, 25 miles per hour, where you see the reds here over some of those mountain ridges and even some of those mountain valleys. We're seeing those gusts over 40, 50 miles per hour. That includes parts of southern Trinity County. And you'll notice even in the mountains, some of those higher mountain ridge tops, we are seeing some very gusty winds there as well. So as we go into the afternoon hour or around midday tomorrow, we're still seeing those very gusty winds for the valley, very gusty winds even for the mountains. But you'll see we're not seeing as much red on the map, indicating the winds are slowly subsiding. However, they may amplify again by 5 p.m. Wednesday, especially some of these mountain ridge tops and some of those mountain valleys as well. As we go into your Thursday morning, still a little gusty, a little breezy, especially for some of those foothills east of the valley. But then through the day on Thursday, the wind should die down. So that certainly is good news. And we're just going to take a look at the humidity too, because now that we know it's gusty out there for Wednesday, you got humidity down in the single digits and lower to mid-teens. Thursday, the winds die down, but still very dry for your Thursday as well. So that's why we have that elevated fire weather risk. That's something we really need to talk about here. Of course, tonight we're looking at temperatures dropping down to the mid to upper 40s in the valley, teens, 20s off to the east, 20s and 30s as you head to the north and west. And for the coast, we're looking at temperatures somewhere in the low to mid 40s. All right, so let's get you out the door tomorrow morning. It's going to be a chilly start, as you saw there. Temperatures dropping down somewhere in the upper 20s for places like Modoc County, eastern mountains, at least at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Low 50s for the valley. We're talking Trinity County in the mid 30s, and for the coast, temperatures somewhere in the mid 40s. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast here. There you can see, of course, the clouds pretty much dissipating here for tonight. And then for tomorrow morning, clear skies. We've got sunny skies across the board through the day on Wednesday as well. All right, so here's your forecast for tomorrow. Temperatures mid to mainly upper 60s actually for the valley. 40s, 50s for the higher elevations in Trinity County, low 60s, around 70 inland, and temperatures in the low 60s for your daytime highs, mainly, of course, for the coast. Looking at your 7-day outlook real quickly here. Windy for your Wednesday, staying dry through Friday. Showers on Saturday, showers again on Monday. I think the valley should stay dry on Tuesday, but I'm going to keep the chance for showers for the coast and the mountains pretty much for Monday and Tuesday. That's the case for Siskiyou, Modoc County, and the eastern mountains as well. So just kind of be aware of that we do have a cooler and more unsettled weather pattern moving in for next week. All right, that's as quick as I could go with the quick cast. We really did need to really hone in on those winds, and so you know what to expect and really how you just need to be extra careful over the next 24 hours or so. But I do expect dry and warmer conditions this week, gusty winds, elevated fire risk as I was just talking about through Wednesday. But I do expect weaker winds later in the week with the possibility for some more showers as early as Saturday. So once again, just a real quick overview. We're not going to take a look at the winds again. We just did that. But that's where the wind advisory is. Keep in mind, still very strong winds, even for places like Reading down to Red Bluff and Corning. And once again, even though these areas are not part of the red flag warning, we still have that elevated fire weather risk. Again, the main reason for gusty winds, low humidity, and that's going to lead to that high fire danger. And the reason for this setup is this: high pressure to our west, low pressure off to our east. Now, especially as we go into Wednesday, this area of low pressure dives to the south. This high pressure amplifies and gets stronger. As we see that, as we see a nice amplified ridge and a nice amplified trough of low pressure, those winds can get even stronger because the more amplified these are, the stronger they are as well, right? So as a result, that means the winds pick up. Clockwise rotation, counterclockwise rotation. Between the two, we see the gusty north winds. We saw them today, we'll see them again tomorrow, and especially for tomorrow morning when they'll be the strongest. But all of this is shifting eastward for Thursday, Friday, and that means the winds will start to die down. But then our attention will focus right here. There's the next storm system. On Saturday, that's when it arrives, and I expect snow levels probably at 4,500 feet and higher, but that's for Saturday. Then on Sunday, we should be between systems. That system pretty much moves off to the east and fizzles out. We're dry on Sunday, but then we've got this storm system coming in on Monday. Now, pretty much the storm door is open at this point, so anything that's off to our west is welcome to come on in. So you can see behind this storm system on Monday, there's a lot of cool and unsettled air. So this model in particular wants to bring in a continued chance for a few showers on Tuesday, especially for the coast, the mountains, but the valley at this point, as you can see here, looking fairly dry. So bottom line, of course, you can see more activity out to the west. So we could be looking at that potential coming in by the middle to latter part of next week. So bottom line, we're dry through this week. Starting Saturday, a cooler and wetter pattern begins to move in. And really the wetter pattern moves in Saturday, but the cooler weather will probably kick in sometime around Sunday or Monday. All right, there you can see, of course, we're looking at the wetter than normal conditions here, drier down to the south. But bottom line, we are seeing the potential for more of that. Now, you can see here the cooler air is also moving in. So we look at that 10-day trend, and I want to show you something I've been talking about the last several days, and that is, yeah, of course, temperatures right around or just below normal through Saturday. See how we have this nice dip in the temperatures through next week? This is something I've talked about. Typically, when we start to see those cooler temperatures move in this time of the year, that's usually associated with, not always, but usually associated with a trough of low pressure that moves in, and a storm in general. And that can typically mean rain. So when we see a nice rise in temperatures and then the temperatures see a nice dip, that can usually be associated with that chance for some rain and, of course, mountain snow as well. So this is a trend that we're watching here for next week. Looking at your wave heights, they are going to start to kind of retreat here as we take you into your Wednesday afternoon, and for Thursday, they retreat even more. So we've just got to get through tonight and even tomorrow. There is a small craft advisory through tomorrow morning. We'll see if that gets extended into Wednesday afternoon as well. But those winds will be from the north at about 10 to 15 knots, and your waves from the north at 6 feet at 7 seconds, and from the northwest at 6 feet at about 12 seconds. All right, let's take a look at our forecast for tonight. Again, we saw these temperatures a little bit earlier. Take a look at again, mid to upper 40s in the valley, 20s. Look at that, teens out towards Modoc County. Temperatures in the low to mid 40s out along the coast. Let's take a look at that Trinity County neighborhood forecast. You got temperatures mainly in the 60s, although Mad River about 58. 61 in Ruth, and you can see Lewiston about 61 degrees. And there's look at your 7-day outlook. Showers Saturday, and then again possibly Monday, and maybe even lingering into Tuesday of next week. 69 degrees for Alder Point, 72 degrees for Garberville. There's Blue Lake with a high of about 65 degrees. Up north about 70. Out in Orleans, 70 in Hoopa. Smith River about 67 degrees. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Your temperatures in the 40s and 50s, although some of the warmer spots like Happy Camp at about 64. 56 for Fort Jones and Etna, about 55 degrees. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, mainly in the 40s. We're talking 45 degrees for Canby and Calpines, as well as El Turris, and 45 for Aden. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 40s and 50s for your daytime highs. One of the warmer spots will be Paradise with a high of about 62, but cooler in Viola at 48. 51 for Fall River Mills, and it looks like Susanville, about 46 degrees for your daytime high on Wednesday. All right, let's take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast, brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. We've got temperatures in the upper 60s to maybe even around 70 for some of the warmer spots. Windy, dry through Friday, showers Saturday, and then another chance for showers on Monday. Up to the north, about 67 degrees for Reading, 62 degrees for Whiskeytown, Palisadro about 68, and Red Bluff topping out at about 67 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Reading. Again, windy for Wednesday, a windy Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, temperatures around 70 and dry. We got the chance for showers Saturday, dry on Sunday, another chance for showers on Monday. That is your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Kruger at 7 a.m. Have a great night.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.